Here we are, day 4 in a month with my mother. I did a lot of thinking today about what is it exactly that makes us the way we are. And I think I've decided that my theory holds it's a little bit of nature, a little bit of nurture, and in my particular instance, a whole lot more than a little bit of necessity. When I was a little girl, I made a bomb shelter for my family because that's just the kind of girl I am. Now, I have to tell you that my family was a little less than enthusiastic when I came up for supper one night and handed out handouts and this decorative invitation informing them that after supper that very night there would be a tour and a drill. My brother and sister said, well, there's this television show we were wanting to watch, so I hope you're not planning to take all night. And then my daddy said, what time do you think it will be over? There's a city council meeting and I'm the mayor, so I can't be late. And then my mother said, how long do you think this is going to take? Because you see, my mother had gotten kindly interested in the neighbor events across the street. The neighbor man had gotten drunk again, and his wife had locked him out of the house again, only this time he was wearing nothing but his BVDs. So my mother would turn off the lights in the front of our house. She'd open the bottom of the plate glass window, and then she'd stand there and look through the top and listen through the bottom, because that's just the kind of woman she is. Now, when I sit on the emergency exit row of an airplane, which I always try to do, of course, I like to get on the plane first so I can grab my seatmates as they're coming in, and I can put the brochure in their hand. I can do a little training and assign roles for them to fill in. We can even do a little drill before the flight attendant shows up and says, do y'all know you're sitting on the emergency row seat? Is that okay? Yeah, that's just the kind of woman I am. I like to get it taken care of, savor a little bit of time. Now, several years ago, we were at another beach in another condo, like on the 12th floor of a 10-story condo, because my mother likes to be way up high so she can see. That's just the kind of girl she is. And we were sitting there. My nephew TJ was with us. He's a teensy little thing at that time. He was sitting down at my feet playing with his trucks and his tractors and his bulldozers and everything. And my mother was sitting over in front of these two humongous sliding glass doors. She's stretched out there reading one of her beach books because, you know, that's just the kind of girl she is. And I was sitting there at the desk working on my computer. Well, if you want to know, I was drawing up some estate plans and living wills and stuff for my family, and because that's just the kind of girl I am. While I was working on it, at one point I happened to look up, and the sliding glass door closest to my mother had just come on into the room to join us. I mean, it was doing this. It was just curving in. I don't know if that's concave or convex. I guess it depends on which side you're looking at it from. All I know is that it had come into the room with us, and I didn't think it was supposed to do that. I did not think that was a good sign. So I said to TJ, Sugar, why don't you choose one of your vehicles for each hand, and then let's go downstairs and find a snack machine. Well, he was fine with that. My mother sat up and she said, well, we've got all that food up there in the kitchen, don't you remember? And I said, yes, ma'am, but there's a hurricane warning. Or what? I get them mixed up. I don't know. Warning what? I hear hurricane and I start paying attention. That's all I know. That's the kind of girl I am. So my mother said, oh, I'll be right back. And then she went in her bedroom. She's gone just a few minutes, and she came back out and she said, does this match? She had changed clothes and she wanted to make sure that she was still fashionably attired. And I said, oh, yes, ma'am, I think that looks great. Now, I think we need to go. And she said, oh, just one minute. I'll be right back. And so she went into her bedroom again, and she came out, and this time she had changed her lipstick, and she said, is this lipstick okay? Or do I need something with a little bit more red in it? And I said, oh, no, ma'am, I think that's just beautiful. Now, can we go? Because I really think we ought to come and get downstairs and look for that snack machine. And she said, oh, yeah, but just one moment. I'll be right back. And this time she went in her bedroom, and when she came back out, she had a hairbrush in her hand. And she turned around to me and she said, would you look at the back of my hair? Because, you know, there's nothing worse than going out in public with a hole in your hair.